Hi, my name is Phil Gordon. I'm doing a documentary about the situation of the Christians in Bethlehem. Sitting here with a friend of mine, Michael Maimon, who back before the Oslo Accords, when these places were under Israeli military control, he was a special consultant to the governor of Judea and Samaria in Ramallah, and he specialized in the area of Bethlehem, Jericho, and East Jerusalem, and everything that had to do with Israeli military intelligence. Everyone about your experiences in Bethlehem.
Bethlehem and Ramallah were the two major cities that was predominantly, or how do you say it, population were Christians.
Even Ramallah.
Ramallah
in 1980.
In particular, Ramallah
in 1980, let's say?
Of course, in the 70s and the 80s, in the 60s, Ramallah was always Christian city with Christian mayor and Christian population, major Christian population. Same as Bethlehem. Bethlehem was, of course, obviously Christian because it was all the holy sites of Christianity, so it was more, how do you call it, diversive, with groups like Assyrians and Catholics and other groups, but they were both cities with major population of Christians, not only Bethlehem, but Jala as well, Bet Sahur. All this area was dominantly Christian in population, I would say 80% and above. What happened, and as I said, they had Christian mayors. The mayor of Bethlehem for many years, for dozens of years, very well known, was Elias Fredge. It's a Christian family. It's a Christian figure from Christian family.
And what was their relationship to Israel? Did they?
Israel took over these territories, or this area, this region of Judea and Samaria, in the 6 Days War in '67.
Okay.
Elias Fredge, for instance, and the mayor of Ramallah, I forgot his name, I think Salah. They belonged to a group of mayors with Jabari from Hebron and El Masri in Nablus, Shem, and the mayor of Elvira near Ramallah is Muslim. Is mostly Muslim. They all belong to a group of mayors or leaders who were called the pro-Jordanians, or the moderate leadership of Judea and Samaria population. We made series of mistakes or wrongdoings since we took over this area, and we even rejected in the late 60s or early 70s a petition, a secret petition signed by these mayors, all of these mayors, from Jabari in Hebron until the mayor of Nablus in the Samaria, and even Kalkilia and Tulkarem, all of them signed a secret petition to the Israeli government through the commander of the Central Command, asking Israel to retreat from its declared intention to give this area back to the Jordanian rule, and to keep it under Israeli rule as a kind of autonomy. They were the first one who actually offered autonomy from on their own. I mean, they offered it. Israel, unfortunately, were rather confused on those years.
Right.
The government wasn't sure exactly what they want to do. There were strong pressure to different direction. Israel ignored that request. Very good relation. They were worked very good for long years until Israel made the second mistake, and during Shimon Peres as a Minister of Defense in 1976, he decided, against the advice of all the experts and all the people who were involved with the population, to declare elections to the municipalities and the mayors and of Judea and Samaria, everybody warned him that there is a small minority with a lot of money and well organized, which is called the PLO supporters. They will take over not because they are majority, but because they are very well organized and they have a lot of money behind them from the Gulf areas, from the Arab world in general. They will take over. Shimon Peres did not listen. He ran these elections. The elections resulted with new leadership of all the cities, with what is called the pro-PLO mayors. A lot of trouble started, but that was the beginning of Oslo. It was Yasser Arafat. He is a former Muslim Brotherhood member.
Right.
Many people do not know that.
Right.
But it's true what you said. The basic loyalty in this population until today is mostly tribal, where they started to be represented in municipalities, and that was the tool to gain more support and to become the new leadership, so-called leadership of the Judea and Samaria population, even though they were still the minority. One thing that happened the media did not really cover it or publicize it. It was when Arafat took over Judea and Samaria through what is called the Palestinian Authority or SHAP. Right. He personally ordered to do cleansing of Christians from Ramallah, Bethlehem, Bet Jala, and Bet Sahur. If the Christians until that point were about 2% of the population in Judea and Samaria, they were reduced dramatically in 1 or 2 or 3 years after Arafat took over. They simply ran away. They left. Bethlehem became Muslim.
A lot of them went to Chile.
A lot of them went to South America, Venezuela, Chile, Canada, North America, South America, and not much left. Ramallah is not anymore Christian city. Bethlehem is not a Christian city anymore, except for some symbolic representatives, as well as Bet Jala and Bet Sahur. A lot of immigration from Hebron area, from the mountain of Hebron, moved and made this city of Hamas. It's very Muslim town, and Christians are threatened. They were threatened. I remember when what is called the Al-Aqsa war that Arafat declared on us. It was a jihad war. Told Barak, you stop the cleansing of the Christians in Bethlehem area. Publicize it in the world. Make a campaign, a propaganda to show the world, the Christian world, what is their favorite leader Arafat is doing to their own religion members, the Christians. Nobody heard, and we started to have snipers shooting Gilo, the neighborhood of Gilo from Bet Jala, during that war, which is called the war, the Al-Aqsa war, that Arafat declared, opened on us. And I remember I suggested, let's put siege on Bet Jala, Bet Sahur, and Bethlehem. Let's give them 72 hours to surrender the weapons and the terrorists. And if they don't do it, we go in and we will kill each one of those terrorists who are shooting our cities. Nobody listened to us. That's what we should have done then. We didn't do that. And we're still paying for the same mistakes until today.
So what do you think we can do about the situation now?
We need to encourage, but one of the things that you guys are doing right is to demand the return of Bethlehem to Israeli rule. Period.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.